Today, Taryn Arnold said you guys had a coin flip for that 13th pick between him and Brock Bowers.
Yeah, I can't confirm that at all. Terry is a good player. We drafted Brock, and we're excited to get him here. And I don't think anyone else in our whole draft room felt any other way.
Let's jump into the thumbnail and the title, okay? And so there is this report out there that was neither confirmed nor denied today by the Raiders that the draft pick at number 13 with Brock Bowers was the result of a coin toss, and that it was a 50-50 chance between him and a cornerback. So what are your thoughts on this, Raider Nation hotspot, Mr. Hot Beavers? What do you think about the coin? Do you think this is true? Do you think it may have happened? Do you think there's some truth behind it, or just complete BS?
No, I think they tossed a coin. Did that really determine our draft pick? Or was that just kind of like a show? I've tossed coins before, and when it gave me a result I didn't actually like, I just went the other way anyway. Most of the time it's just a confirmation of what you really want to do. I think it's more for show than anything else. Thank God, because I don't like Darian Arnold as a draft pick. Corner would have been okay, but I think he's like possibly Jeff Okudah 2.0. So I don't see him as a future Hall of Famer. And I think, Brock Bowers is special. So I'm glad we went that direction.
So what is it about Terrion Arnold, about his game? Obviously, we don't have any issue with him as a person that I know of. Right now, we have had players that we've drafted in the past where there was a lot of character issues that John Gruden ignored. And we do know who that was. What about Terrion Arnold's game that you don't like? Why do you think Terrion Arnold is not a first round draft pick? Do you and where would you put him? Second round, third round, fourth round, undrafted?
Yeah. No, not undrafted. In the second or third round, sure. The thing that scares me about him is that when you look at his testing and then you even look at the tape, like he's not physically imposing. When it comes to the speed portion of the game, corners need to run, right? Especially as you get to the next level. I think that he did a lot of his domination in college because he's technically ahead of the other players and knows kind of the tricks of the trade that you see kind of veteran corners learning later on, playing at Alabama and getting that coaching from Saban and all that stuff. He's ahead of it. But then what happens when you get to the NFL and, the receivers know just as much or more than you, and technique is not going to win the day. You become Jeff Okudah, right? Where you're just kind of a guy. And I'm afraid that's what Terrion Arnold might end up being.
So out of the cornerback draft class of 2024, I know you had your favorite. Tyler, who was your favorite for the Raiders if we would have drafted at pick 13? What corner would it have been, or would you still have waited until the second round?
I would have not went corner. My guy, I would have went Fuaga there just because the tackle thing. I think the corner position is interesting because you draft players based on positional value and then availability in the draft. Positional value for corner is really high, but then you look at availability and you can get corners, Pro Bowl, all-pro players in the second, third, fourth round sometimes. So I think a lot of times drafting corner high is not the best way to go unless that guy is Charles Woodson or something like that. So that's where I'm at on kind of the positional issue there.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Charles Woodson was simply the guy that it was definitely no way you could miss on him. I mean, he was just day and night ahead of everybody else in college football. He was already an NFL star before he even got to the NFL. And he proved that in his rookie year, I'm the man. I'm here.
Yeah.
This is
the
me.
Pick six on Jake Plummer.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I'm the best corner in football. That's who I am. I'm Charles Woodson.
Yeah.
And so when you got a guy like that is a clear no risk at all in drafting him in the first round, then I am all for it. Go grab him. He's literally the best athlete, not just the best corner. He was the best athlete on the board. Then you go and you do it. But when I agree with you, I think any of the corners in this draft, I don't think any of them were worthy of a 13th selection overall, because there's just other better athletes out there at different positions. And so I think for sure, on draft day, we were together, we were doing it live. You wanted Fuaga, who I'm very high on. I think he's going to have a great career in the NFL. I wanted wide receiver. And so I kind of got my wish and you kind of got your wish, because we got a guy who can basically be a sixth lineman and block. Not as good as Mayer, but he is a really good blocker. And I got my guy because he's a really good receiver. And we got Brock Bowers as a tight end, which at the time you were a little upset about it.
I was upset because of the position.
I was a lot confused by it. And then both of us sat back over the next couple of days after the draft and really looked at it and like, it's actually ain't bad.
Yeah.
It's actually can work.
Especially when you take into account the Getsy offense, right?
Exactly.
I put out a video talking about what we're going to run. Go check it out. It's really in depth, so you can get an understanding of what we're doing from that kind of higher level. But because of the Getsy offense and what we're trying to accomplish with the wide zones and all that good stuff, like you start to understand why a slot tight end like him can make a huge difference, not just in the passing game, but in the running game too, because of the stuff we like to run with counters and stuff like that. So